At the beginning of the chapter, we see male townspeople and navy soldiers whose eyes turn into heart shapes, leaving him completely unable to fight. In that moment, they are even too shy to introduce themselves. Going back to that era, there was a pirate crew that sailed across the seas, one so powerful that even the navy could not stand against them. They were known as the Kuja pirates, who came from a remote and hard-to-reach island of women. At that time, Leza was introduced, and she was said to come from an exceptional bloodline. We then see Goriosa, who complains that she is starting to get tired of her own beauty. She says that whether it is day or night, it is always the same, and wonders if she can somehow cast off this image of perfection. Later, a crew member delivers fan letters to Goriosa, but she points at a massive pile of letters behind him and asks what that stack is. The crew member, named Taitoma, replies that those letters belong to Shaki, and that there are a lot of them. Leza, not having heard that properly, becomes angry and says that stealing the captain's fan mail like that is clearly an act of betrayal. It is then explained that there is only one person who is said to be an even greater stronghold than Goriosa, and that person is none other than her first partner, Shakuyaku. Suddenly, the Roger pirates appear and demand that she be handed over. They declare, "Kuja pirates, today is the day we win her heart. We're taking Shakuyaku with us." However, Goldaza responds that it will never happen. She says that receiving love from her, no, from a woman like her, is impossible. At that moment, Shakuyaku herself appears. Her presence is said to be so overwhelming that even flowers wilt. Birds lose their voices, and people are forced to stop fighting altogether. We then see Shakuyaku swinging her massive axe, while Roger, who charges in, is casually dealt with, ending up with a swollen head and knocked to the ground. A caption explains that her beauty is so powerful that even the strongest warriors are left stunned by it. Shakuyaku tells Roger that he should already know she would never allow anyone to take her away. She then orders her crew to take all the treasure and is formally introduced as the captain of the Kuja pirates. Roger, on the other hand, is completely mesmerized, his eyes turning into hearts again. Before Leza steps in to ask if he is okay, Roger tells her to step aside because she is getting in Shaki's way. Shaki then turns to Rayleigh and says he must be exhausted. Rayleigh sighs and complains that he is surrounded by idiots, but Shaki winks at him, leaving him speechless. Suddenly, a report comes in that a navy fleet is approaching. Roger tells everyone to hurry, saying they need to set sail immediately. However, someone points out that the ships belong to Garp. Roger reacts in shock and quickly changes plans, ordering everyone to go crush them instead. After that, the Kuja pirates depart, and a clash between Garp and Roger follows. We see their attacks coated with Conqueror's haki, not even touching each other directly. Garp is struck, and Roger is blown back by Garp in return. A caption states that Roger, Garp, and Rox are three figures who would later be known as legends. Though at this point in time, they had not yet fully reached that level. It is then stated that the Kuja pirates were the most popular crew at that time. Even their wanted posters were being sold for extremely high prices. Every single day, they had to deal with stalkers and photographers constantly following them. The scene then cuts back to Elbaf, where it is reported that Prince Loki's ship had sunk and that he had drowned while Hyrodine was away. This leads people to start questioning whether they should really go and rescue Prince Loki. Hyrodine thanks them, but Ida scolds them, asking why they hesitated to help Loki in the first place. She says that if they ever let a child drown, she would personally hold them underwater herself. However, Loki responds that he never asked for anyone's help. This makes the others furious. But Ida understands that Loki has already lost a lot. His father is constantly burdened with heavy responsibilities. So Ida invites Loki to come live with them instead. Hyrodine and Loki immediately say, "No way," at the same time. Loki then adds sarcastically that Ida is just trying to act like his mother so she can get inside his head. Hyrodine tells Loki to stop talking like that. Ida, however, says that the children have become too adorable already. At that moment, a young girl named Mato starts crying after hearing such cruel words. Loki then says that he is completely sick of this ridiculous country. He calls everyone weak and filthy and says that he wants to be free like Rox. After that, every time Rox comes to Elbaf to settle matters with Hyrodine, Loki always asks to sail with him, but it never succeeds even once. Several months later, the scene shifts to Hoshinosu Island. At that time, in the center of the island stood a skull-shaped structure that still lacked eye sockets. Someone arrives there, and the guard tells him to go inside, warning him to be careful the deeper he goes. A pirate suddenly kicks the newcomer, but the man instantly grows larger and crushes the pirate's head with his hand. His name is not revealed, but it is implied that he will one day earn a massive bounty and that he will become a rival of Shiki. Suddenly, a loud explosion echoes across Pirate Island. This is revealed to be the sound of rocks drilling 2 holes into the skull, forming its eyes. News then spreads that Rox is searching for 2 devil fruits. One of them is rumored to be in Elbath, and its true power can only be unleashed if it is eaten by Hyrodine. Captain John then asks whether they also need to track down the giants of Elbath. On the other side, Big Mom says that she has already sent people to search, but they found no clues at all. An intelligence officer asks if, even if they did find them, they would not already be nothing more than corpses. The opposing side replies that this is correct. Meanwhile, Barbel Crow says that even if they were to be resurrected, there would be no reason for them to obey. The response is that this is exactly why they need Hyrodine, the giant prince. Later on, Leza falls ill, likely from lovesickness. After that, Shakuyaku becomes the next empress, and her popularity continues to grow uncontrollably. Kaido then asks whether they can't just use force and make him comply, the same way they do with everyone else. Hearing that, Rox immediately kicks Kaido in the face and tells him not to say another word. Shiki's men step in to stop them, warning that if those 2 start fighting, the entire island would be destroyed. Rox then says that Hyrodine is a good friend of his, and if Kaido dares to speak like that again, he will beat him down. Listen carefully, everyone. Elbath is the key to entering the Holy Land. If you don't believe me, you're free to leave. You can choose your own path. But if you've made up your mind and follow me, I'll take you to the very top of this world. With that, the chapter comes to an end, along with a message announcing a One Piece break next week. Alright, and that wraps up all the content and the full story covered in this video. If you enjoyed this kind of content, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any future updates from us. That's all for today. See you next time.